Well, my first memories of the camping coaches here at Ravenglass would be in 1961. We actually came on a family holiday, I think third week in September, as a 7-year-old boy. My dad had a railway background, so I was used to big trains, but coming here and stopping in the camping coaches and seeing this little railway for the first time is my first early memories of the ratty. My mum always used to tell the story about, she said, I don't know how that little railway is going to survive only running 4 trains a day, and that was her first memory of Ravenglass as well. And she also must have been some kind of hero, because obviously the essence was in the word camping in camping coaches. They would be pretty primitive in those days. And Mum used to say, oh yeah, we had a key for the toilet on the main line and we had to go over to the main line. Yeah, so I said Mum must have been some kind of a hero, because we had the key for the toilet over on the British Railways platform. But the thing for me was, of course, being a little lad, seeing the little engines and the little trains and going out and playing in the carriages at night on the platform and such like. But from the camping coaches point of view, I can always remember getting up in the morning and looking out across to the British Railways line and seeing the steam trains coming in and out, which again was fascinating as a little lad. And the camping coaches themselves, of course, are just part of Ravenglass and the ratty. They've been here that long. Obviously we know the history from the ambulance cars and Pullman Carriages and such like, but then on up until the time that they were British Railways camping coaches, until they left here in early '67, and they were up at Eskdale for a couple of seasons and used up there for 1 season, I believe, and then they were going to be taken away for scrap, and Douglas Pharaoh, who was the manager at the time, managed to intervene and get them fetched back here in October 1968, pushed into the siding onto the piece of track that you see them standing on now, and then the rest of the British Railways yard that was here at the time was taken up, and the camping coaches were forever marooned here in the yard. But of course they are such a part of the railway, really. They mean such a lot to a lot of people. I've met and have many good friends from people that have come on holiday and stopped in the camping coaches over the years. You've just got used to waving at them as they're having their holidays, and then they'll come and talk to you and you strike up a conversation, and then you'll see them when they come again and so on, and the friendships build up from there. So there's a lot of happy memories from them. And then of course everything moves on full circle, really, because from holidaying them as a little lad in 1961 and remembering them coming back here in 1968, by then I was volunteering on the railway and volunteered on the railway through until 1972, and in 1973 started work for the company. And of course, as I say, they were part of the fabric and history of the railway on through the 70s and 80s and into the 90s, and then in 2000 I took over as general manager, so I then became responsible for them, and part of our building maintenance programme was to try and keep them smart and tidy and have a decent holiday accommodation for the public. And then of course I think the final part of it all really is that since I've retired, we've stopped letting the camping coaches out now, as it's part of the now being completely refurbished as part of a lottery grant, and I'm a member of the Ravenglass Railway Museum Trust, a trustee of the Museum Trust, and part of our job is to try and see this project through and to refurbish them completely and let them out again to a whole new generation.
One of the most endearing things about the camping coaches was the fact that you couldn't have the shower on and the cooker at the same time. So there were 6 people in there, so one couldn't be cooking breakfast while one of the others were having a shower, so because the whole thing was tripped out. We were actually in the camping coaches the day Ginny Wade won Wimbledon. We listened to it on the radio, 1st of July 1977. And the other thing is, we were in there listening to the last night of the proms, the night that Prince Harry was born. So we've had a few things that have happened while we've been in there.